Hey everyone! It's time for another episode of Bible Q&A. We're going to be discussing how do we covet the best gifts? Well, let's take this topic to sports. How do you win the playoff trophy or an Olympic medal? You learn the rules of the sport, you develop your playing style, and you start training, improving your personal skills and your ability to work with your team. Either your team will move on to the next division, or you'll be selected for a more competitive club, where you will repeat this process, albeit with harder competition. And why are you doing all this? Because you want to lift that cup, hold that medal, or wear that championship ring. You want to write your name in the history of the sport. Christianity works similarly. Christians start out by learning about God and his vision for the world. That's the gift of knowledge in 1 Corinthians chapter 12 verse 8. You read stories about the ancients and start to develop an idea of what serving God looks like. Then, you acquire the gift of the discernment of spirits. It's true that you need a pastor, your coach, to explain the Bible to you. In another epistle of his, St. Paul explained, "How then shall they call on him in whom they have not believed? And how shall they believe in him of whom they have not heard? And how shall they hear without a preacher?" Romans chapter 10 verse 14. The Ethiopian eunuch, for example, needed Philip to explain the role of the Messiah in saving mankind. However, given how many preachers there are in the world, with all their different doctrines, you need to develop the ability to test their doctrines with the words you've been reading, and choose the right pastor, just as an athlete needs to choose an experienced coach that will make them a stronger player. Warning Christians about the future proliferation of false teachers, John said, "Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits whether they are of God, because many false prophets are gone out into the world." 1 John chapter 4 verse 1. That's what the believers at Berea did in Acts chapter 17 verse 11. They heard Paul preach, and then they searched the scriptures to find out if his interpretations made sense. Finally, once a Christian understands the Bible, they figure out how to apply it to their lives and to God's mission. That's the gift of wisdom, the most important gift of all. Solomon told us, "For wisdom is better than rubies, and all the things that may be desired are not to be compared to it." Proverbs chapter 8 verse 11. Gold, power, and even knowledge may seem awesome, but wisdom is what tells you how to use these and others to further God's purpose. It's like how a team with a good strategy will beat one with excellent talent, because the strategy will allow them to use the talent they do have effectively to exploit various holes in their defense. Now, why are you acquiring all these gifts from 1 Corinthians chapter 12? Because you don't just want to sit in a dark room with a Bible in your hand, reading and reading. You have to use this study to further God's purpose in the general society. That's where the fruits of the Spirit come in Galatians chapter 5 verse 23. For example, you have to learn to be peaceful. No more holding on to grudges. St. Paul told us, "Dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath. For it is written, Vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith the Lord." Romans chapter 12 verse 19. If you fight and get upset at people who wrong you, then how are you better than non-Christians who also do such things? Finally, there's faith. When losses come your way, faith is what gives you the courage and the patience to face them, learn from them, and overcome them. Comparing these trials to the work of a goldsmith, Peter said, "That the trial of your faith, being much more precious than of gold that perisheth, though it be tried with fire, might be found unto praise and honor and glory at the appearing of Jesus Christ." 1 Peter chapter 1 verse 7. And that is where I'm going to stop with this Bible Q&A. How do we covet the best gifts? We train with our coach and team members, developing the skills and strategies that will help us win that trophy. Thank you for listening! Don't forget to like and subscribe.